Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. Let me get into this topic here. So yesterday, and I think probably over the last week, but yesterday for sure, ESPN First Take went to, I think, Shannon Sharpe's alma mater, Salem State or something like that. I don't remember the school particularly, but that's where they've been. They've been doing these live shows, right? And on various days, they brought in various guests. I think at one point they even brought in Shannon Sharpe's brother, Sterling Sharpe, to the debate desk. So it's been a pretty, successful campaign, and they've been doing different things, kind of the undisputed way, making things interesting, interacting with the crowd and all of that. So during the show yesterday, they were doing this kind of interactive list where you were there. You were supposed to rank the top 5 players, and I believe it was Stephen A. Smith's top 5 NBA players of all time. And then he started to go in order and put up the players. And then what would happen is the various people that were on the show would then react to Stephen A. Smith's list. And like, I agree with this, I disagree with this, I agree with this, and I disagree with this. So Stephen A. Smith was putting up his rankings, and I know in his top, I think his top 2 for sure, he has Jordan number 1, he has LeBron number 2, he has Bill Russell at number 5, I think he has Magic Johnson at number 4, and I know for sure Kobe didn't make his list. So he's doing all of that, right? And people are kind of going back and forth. And then at one point, the crowd starts chanting Kobe. Kobe, Kobe, the crowd, right? The crowd started, because Kobe the people's champ, and people started chanting for Kobe, and they didn't say nothing. And they're kind of going back and forth talking about each other's lists. And then Stephen A. Smith is talking about why he has Magic Johnson up there. And then Shannon Sharpe says to him on live TV, he's like, hold on. Why are you not making the same excuse for Kobe the same way you did for Magic by having Magic in your top 5, but him needing Qerim and James Worthy to win all of those championships? And you didn't have that same energy for Kobe Bryant. And then as soon as he said that, Stephen A. Smith was rendered speechless on live TV. But before we even get into that, this video is brought to you by a brand new sponsor, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app with over 28 million downloads. There are more than 70,000 events every single day on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. And with the NFL and NBA season in full swing, SeatGeek has your tickets to every game. Now, here's the best part and the reason I absolutely love SeatGeek. They put all the tickets across the web in one place to make sure you are getting a good deal. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Every ticket is backed by the buyer's guarantee, and SeatGeek is the only site that lets you return your tickets ahead of the event. And we have great news for you because we got you guys a really, really good deal. Use code DREAMERSPRO for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code DREAMERSPRO. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app. And remember, when you try SeatGeek by using the link in the description below, just know that you're helping this channel. So what we want to do is play this exchange for you guys, and then we're going to come back and give you guys our thoughts. Take a listen to this exchange here.
Excuse me, they struggled with him.
Yeah.
He was only around 30 years. Go ahead, man.
No. You know who else is missing off the list? Oh, Earl the Pearl. Kobe chance.
Go ahead, Shannon. This is Shannon. Go ahead. You got the ball. I got you. Go ahead. So you got LeBron 1. Jordan 2. It's not going to stay up there for a reason because they know it's wrong. Just hold on to it. They know it's wrong. It's not going to stay up there. And who you got 3? And Qerim. And Magic and Russell?
I got Wilt here.
Wilt instead of Russell?
Yes.
Okay. Allow me. I've heard enough. I've heard enough of the blasphemy. Okay. Allow me. Number 1, a lot of people out there was asking why not Kobe Bryant. Love Kobe to death, miss him to death. Here's the deal. Kobe Bryant was number 2 to Jordan, number 1. And number 2, he's not the greatest Laker of all time. He's not. 3 of those titles came with Shaq in his prime. Pick one, sir. You can't have both. You gotta be one or the other. And because you picked Shaq, then obviously Kobe's not there. So I got Kobe behind Magic as a Laker and behind Jordan as a 2 guard. Now we get to Russell instead of Wilt Chamberlain instead of Russell. That's your nemesis. And you can appreciate where I'm going, coaches, both of you. If you have a specific nemesis, there's a lot of components that go into winning. But one can't outwin you 11-2. That's what happened. There's no way. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, but you got to understand, out of 12 players, Bill Russell had 8 Hall of Famers.
What about leadership? You're a leader. We was at Savannah State yesterday, were we not? Did they not talk about your leadership?
Yes.
Well, where was Wilt's leadership?
I mean,
Okay.
But they say the argument that you use for Shaq and Kobe, why don't you use it for Qerim and Magic?
Well, that's a lengthy
All
conversation.
I know is this: the coaches, both Cleo and LaTanya, came with the strong, bold takes. I see where you get it from here at Winston-Salem
They hurt my
State.
feelings.
So you heard the exchange there, right? And funny enough, when Shannon Sharpe pointed out that point, that was something I didn't even consider. That's number one. Number two, Shannon Sharpe is out here saying things he's not supposed to be saying. Because by making that argument for Kobe, you have a very good reason to put him in your top 5, and we then got to go and scrutinize some of the players in their top 5, in the top 5, at least his top 5, and say, but hold on, these guys didn't win those championships on their own. So why we excluding Kobe over this guy, right? So that was the first thing. The second part is this, and this is what I truly believe. I truly believe that Stephen A. Smith doesn't have one single reason or one single good argument for not having Kobe in his top 5. I believe that Stephen A. Smith's top 5 is a political top 5. This is what I believe. I believe his top 5 is done in a way where he can maintain relationships. That's what I personally believe. I don't believe that's what he really did. I believe he's picking a list that can appease certain people so he can keep certain relationships going. I believe he has LeBron in his top 5 to appease LeBron in his camp, because he's mentioned many a times how they have tried to reach out to him for him not having LeBron as number 1. We know that. I probably believe he thinks MJ's a GOAT, but I also believe he's doing that to kind of maintain that relationship. I believe the same thing about I believe the same thing about Magic Johnson. Now, I don't know where he had Kobe Bryant when Kobe Bryant was alive, but I believe a lot of this has to do with relationships as well. Stephen A. Smith is a politician. Stephen A. Smith is a politician, and he's playing politics here. Some of those picks are political picks. That's what I truly believe. To me, listen, if you don't have Kobe Bryant in your top 5, that's one thing. But if someone asks you, okay, explain why you don't have Kobe in your top 5, and you can't give a sound argument, then yeah, I think you start to lose credibility quickly. To me, I can make a case, or I've at least tried to make cases in the past, as to why I believe Kobe Bryant is a top 5 guy of all time. I know for a fact that Shannon Sharpe thought Kobe Bryant for a very long time was top 2. Now, I don't know how Kobe Bryant went from being top 2 on his list and then fell out of his top 5, and I think he's number 8 or number 9 on Shannon Sharpe's list. I don't know how that happened, and then somehow he catapulted LeBron all the way to number 1. And now you're seeing how that's paying dividends for you by basically championing LeBron James all this time, and then look what just happened yesterday. To me, listen, I think Kobe Bryant is top 5. Where you rank him is up to you. I certainly think that a lot of NBA players think that maybe the media has certain agendas why they pick certain players. But yesterday was a bit surprising to see Shannon Sharpe quickly just kind of exposed to, like, yo, okay, so what's your reason for this? And he was speechless. He had nothing to say. He was like, well, I'll explain that later. There is no explanation for that later. The fact of the matter is, you were making up reasons to not having Kobe in your top 5, and those same reasons you were basically making up to not have Kobe in the top 5 were the same exact reasons you're putting other players in the top 5. So you help let's make sense. Make it make sense. Yesterday evening was some type of evening, boy. All hell broke loose yesterday. All hell broke loose yesterday. What am I talking about? Well, as you guys know, LeBron recently played against the Miami Heat. And I'm going to paraphrase quickly. He was talking about his time there, how he appreciated it, how it was great, and all of that good stuff. But then LeBron essentially said that that he believes that he would have been just as dominant. That's the word he used. Just as dominant had he played, had he never joined the Miami Heat. That's what LeBron said, right? And he was reacting to some comments that were made on ESPN First Take earlier in the day, predominantly by Shannon Sharpe, where Shannon Sharpe said, LeBron, stop capping. There's no way. We're not even having a GOAT discussion if you don't go to Miami. LeBron took exception to that. So LeBron took to Twitter and he said, you're damn right, I will still be the chosen. I will still be. I'm chosen. Ain't nothing changing that. Maybe less rings, but dominant from start to finish. So that's what LeBron pretty much said, right? So I was going through the internet and some channel, I forgot the channel, but then I even saw a video from Gilbert Arenas where, you know, they had Gilbert Arenas' picture in the thumbnail and he looked perturbed. And he was responding to the comments of whether or not LeBron needed to go play with Miami. And when I clicked on the clip, Gilbert Arenas was pretty upset at Shannon Sharpe. Like he wasn't mincing words. He even asked, yo, play the audio. And he was basically calling out Shannon Sharpe for basically breaking rank. So what we want to do is we're going to play exactly what Gilbert Arenas said on his show. And then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to what Gilbert Arenas had to say here.
Will LeBron still be the same player if he never played for the Heat?
Yeah.
No question about it?
You think you would still have those two championships, but somewhere else?
Yeah.
In Cleveland, if he stayed?
Yeah, so what happens there, Gil?
I don't think he went into if he stays in Cleveland.
Huh?
So if he doesn't go to Miami, does he leave?
Yeah, does he go somewhere else or he stays?
And you saying wherever he goes, he gonna win?
Championship.
Really?
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
So he'd went west?
Championship.
He'd beat Kobe?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You think any other team would have allowed him to do that? Whatever the hell they did.
I think people well,
I feel like
you want to play Shannon Sharpe first? Or?
I don't think we have it accessible.
Okay, so, yeah, I
Gilbert Arenas.
heard Shannon Sharpe and, you know, that was weird because, you know, he's supposed to be a LeBron supporter. All right.
I think he's keeping it real, Gil.
No, he's keeping it false.
Wait, what is Shannon Sharpe saying?
Okay. Well, let's then put it in perspective. When LeBron James was a free agent, him, Bosh, and Wade, and Mike Miller were teamed up. So in theory, wherever he went, they were going to win championships because it was four of them together. That's the narrative that they're not understanding. So if it was Heat, if it was New York Knicks, where they were supposed to go, they were going to dominate because four of them was coming together. It wasn't just him going. The Knicks messed the trade up by signing Amari Stoudemire because they didn't know what LeBron and them were doing. So they signed Amari, and then they're like, we don't want to play with Amari. We have our crew, right? And then they said, all right, well, let's just go to Miami because they didn't want to play in Cleveland. Bosh didn't want to play in Cleveland, too cold, and because he wanted to get out of Toronto. And Wade was like, I'm not going there, right? So they was coming as a package already. So no matter where he went, yes, he was going to be who he was.
So that's basically you saying no matter where he went, they was going to follow him to support him in getting the championship somewhere else, regardless of where he went.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't really about him being by himself and going to win them championships. Like he's saying if I didn't go to Miami, he's saying it as if he's not going to be with those other niggas.
No, he said Heat. I don't know what
he's saying. If I didn't really need this Miami thing to solidify my career.
They needed him. He didn't need Miami. They needed him.
So you don't think like the Heat culture, all that stuff?
What is the Heat culture?
Dwayne Wade and his championship before he got there. The championship that D-Wade won.
Oh, because they traded for a generational player by the name of Shaquille O'Neal, brought in Gary Payton, brought in all these other players to build with Dwayne Wade so they can win a championship. That's what the Heat culture is? Because all their championships was bought with generational players. They wasn't building nothing. They didn't build a team. They bought a team. They bought Shaquille O'Neal, Gary Payton, and all them. And then the next championships they won, they bought LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Mike Miller and Ray Allen. They bought that.
So this Heat culture now is new.
Oh, I can tell you what the Heat culture is.
Like, when did it start?
The notepad is out.
Before LeBron got there.
He said it was bought.
It wasn't bought? Those players was inherited?
Because if you can say that about them, you can say that about all the teams that actually bought championships.
When you're talking about Heat culture, then Heat culture should look like Golden State culture.
Why should it?
Because
it wouldn't be Heat culture.
Because
it would be Golden State culture.
No, what I'm saying is they drafted those players and built them. Right, you're pretending you're building these players because before LeBron got there, first round loss. It says 15-67, first round loss, first round loss, first round loss. Then LeBron and the crew came, and then they went to the championship, and then they won a championship, and then they won a championship, and then they went to the championship. LeBron left. Wade and the Heat culture and Bosh is still there. No playoffs. Did he take the Heat culture with him?
So you heard what Gilbert Arenas had to say. I was surprised when I heard that. I was very, very surprised. Number one, if you could see Gilbert's expression, he genuinely seemed annoyed by the entire conversation. You could see it on his face, on his countenance, that he looked annoyed. Number two, the part that surprised me was the fact that he called out Shannon Sharpe by name. He said, Shannon, you're supposed to be a LeBron guy. And to me, I'm like, well, yes, Shannon Sharpe is a LeBron guy, but is he not allowed to have a strong opinion on LeBron from time to time? Like, is he not allowed? Does he have to believe everything that comes out of the LeBron James gospel? Like, really, does he? I thought Shannon Sharpe made a fair point, and I think the majority of the people that heard him agreed. LeBron has said that he would be still as dominant. And I want to address those comments in a second. Would LeBron have the same stats? Yes. Would he possibly have better stats if he never won a championship and he was just kind of the only guy? Arguably, yes. But would he have been winning all those championships? Hell no. Absolutely not. There would have been nobody for him to beat. Now, Gilbert said in his audio, the reason he feels LeBron would have won those championships was because he would have still formed his super team. But that don't count. Because we're talking about the fact LeBron went to Miami. It's not like as if LeBron went to another team and brought Carmelo Anthony and brought Dwayne Wade or Chris Bosh that he wouldn't win. Obviously, he would have a very great chance of winning when you're bringing those guys on. Obviously, but so would Kobe. So would any great player. So we're not going to give him that. We're talking about the standpoint of he never went to the Miami Heat and formed a super team and remained dolo and maybe got another good all-star. Kind of the type of all-star that Kobe Bryant had with Pau Gasol. No, he's not. He's definitely not beating the Dallas Mavericks because he was with the Miami Heat, with Dwayne Wade, with himself in his prime, and Chris, and they lost. So that was never going to happen. He was never going to beat those Spurs because they barely beat them in 7 games with him. And D Wade and Ray Allen and Shane Battier and all of these guys. They barely beat them. So that was never going to happen. They were absolutely not going to beat the Golden State Warriors. Never. So from that time point to now, he would probably have 1 or 2 rings. Probably. He would have probably got the one in LA with AD. And I don't know where he would have got the other one. Maybe he would have got lucky along the way. He wasn't going to beat the Golden State Warriors. That was never going to happen. He wasn't going to beat the Spurs, and he wasn't going to beat the Dallas Mavericks. So who's left? Kobe and these guys were still in the West. Now, if you're talking about he's going to come to the West by himself, he would have got smacked. If he's coming with a super team, then he has a chance. And as a matter of fact, LeBron said himself that the reason he went to Miami was to win championships. That's what LeBron said. If LeBron felt like he could have won championships anywhere, then why did he go to Miami? Why did he go to Miami? Why didn't he stay in Cleveland? That's number one. Number two, Are we sure we want to make an enemy out of Shannon Sharpe? Is that the person we want to make an enemy? Shannon Sharpe is arguably the biggest face in sports media in the United States. Or if it's not him, he's in the top 3 with Stephen A. Smith and maybe Skip Bayless and whoever. He's there. He's the number 1 LeBron advocate. He's the one that has a lot of these dweebs running around talking about go James, go. It's him. He's been the one pushing that line. So we getting ready to go at Shannon. Y'all want to lose that supporter? Is that the guy y'all want to lose? Y'all don't want to lose Shannon. He's the hottest thing in sports media right now. You don't want to lose that one. Let me get into this topic here. Yesterday, the last 24 hours has been, there's been a lot of electricity in the sports world because of what was said on ESPN yesterday and what's been said after and all of the content that's being produced around this story. So essentially, this is what happened yesterday. They're hosting ESPN First Take at Shannon Sharpe's alma mater, and they have these live audiences. So when you're having a live audience, you need to speak louder. You need to be a little bit more animated to get your energy through in a room full of people, right? So, and this is standard procedure. So they're talking, and at one point in the show, they are addressing some comments that LeBron made. When after the Lakers lost, to the Miami Heat. So they were addressing some comments that LeBron made in the post game. Where he essentially said, I'm going to quickly paraphrase that, he appreciates everything that happened with the Miami Heat, but he believes that he would have gone on to have the same career had he not joined the Miami Heat. So when they brought this question to the co-hosts of the show or the people that were tuning in to listen to, in this case, Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe, they started weighing in, and Shannon Sharpe was very, very passionate with his response. So while Shannon was talking, towards the end, Molly Qerim, she interjects herself into the conversation, and then she starts to interrupt Shannon. And usually what happens is when she does that to Stephen A. Smith just sits there quietly. He doesn't say anything. But in this case, Shannon listened to her, and then he bounced back. Like, he responded like, how? Like, he responded like, yo, what do you, like, as if he's talking to any person on the panel. I was like, wow, he definitely shutting her down for trying to interrupt him. And I liked it because I'm like, let the guy finish his thought. Number 1. Number 2, we're tuning in to hear what Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith predominantly have to say. I'm sorry, that's the reason I watch on this ESPN First Take. I'm tuning in to hear what the host of the show have to say, not the moderator. This is just my view. I think a lot of people share this view, right? So we actually want to play that. But before we even get into that, this video is brought to you by our brand new sponsor, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app with over 28 million downloads. There are more than 70,000 events every single day on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. And with the NFL and NBA season in full swing, SeatGeek has your tickets to every game. Now, here's the best part and the reason I absolutely love SeatGeek. They put all the tickets across the web in one place to make sure you are getting a good deal. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Every ticket is backed by the buyer's guarantee, and SeatGeek is the only site that lets you return your tickets ahead of the event. And we have great news for you because we got you guys a really, really good deal. Use code DREAMERSPRO for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code DREAMERSPRO. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app. And remember, when you try SeatGeek by using the link in the description below, just know that you're helping this channel. So what we want to do is play this exchange, and I want you guys to listen to it all the way at the end where Molly interrupts Shannon with some point that nobody asked her for, and then he now responds to her. Take a listen to that exchange here.
I think it still would be at this level no matter if I would have came here or not. Let's not get it twisted. The 4 years I was here, it was amazing. I loved everything about it. Loved this franchise. This franchise is top tier. It's one of the best franchises in the world. But as far as my career was going to be my career. And as far as individually, because I know how much I put into the game and I know how much I strive to be as great as I can be. And as far as what I was able to learn, he was second to none. That's for sure.
Yes.
Okay. Shannon?
Yes.
Do you agree with what LeBron said about his time in Miami?
Hell no, I vehemently disagree. I strenuously disagree with what he said. At the time that he had arrived in Miami, he had two regular season MVPs and 1 finals appearance through his first 7 seasons. LeBron, do you realize the reason why you got into the GOAT conversation? Because of what transpired in Miami? You won 2 more finals MVPs. You won 2 more regular season MVPs. You went to 4 straight finals. LeBron, how can you say that your career was going to be the same without going to Miami? LeBron, I'm not so sure. Had you not gone to Miami, how do I make a compelling case? And I can argue any case before the Supreme Court. How do I make a case that he's a top 5 player if he doesn't go to Miami, Stephen A? I don't understand why LeBron wants to be so dismissive. Okay, I get it. You dislike Pat Riley. Pat Riley didn't give you the latitude that Cleveland, like the Lakers, do. I get everything that you're saying from that aspect. But to sit there and sit in front of the media and say your career was going to be the career, come on, LeBron, man, you got to stop this. It's okay to give the Miami Heat the credit that they deserve.
Man, I almost caught a heart attack. I cannot believe I am so proud of you right now. I thought you were going to disagree. This touches my heart, Shannon Sharpe. I didn't believe you were capable of such a thing.
Hey, come on.
With LeBron, I mean, we are marching locks. It's supposed to be a debate show. But damn it, ain't no debate here.
No.
Because you're 1,000% correct. What the hell is wrong with you, LeBron? What the hell is wrong with you? Let me tell y'all something. LeBron James loses in Boston. When he goes to Miami, how does it happen? You got James Dolan talking about making him a billionaire. That didn't work. You got other teams looking at him. Pat Riley rolled up and put rings on the table.
Right.
Do you want these? Okay. Well, here's how you get them. Now, obviously, I've broken the story about how he's going to end up taking his talents to South Beach. But make no mistake about it. Do y'all understand the greatness of a Hall of Famer by the name of Dwayne Wade?
Yes.
He was a great player. He was a great leader. Let's go back to LeBron's rookie year. LeBron, every press conference was D. Wade looking right at it, was sitting right next to him. Why was that? Because mentally, despite the greatness of LeBron James as a talent, mentally he was warped. He was scared to shoot free throws. He was scared to really take the bull by the horn. Give me the rock. I'm that dude. I'm that man. Okay? So much so that even after they lost in the finals to Dallas, when Jason Terry was guarding him in the post in the 4th quarter.
And J.J. Barea.
And J.J. Barea, okay? No, Como style, by the way. The bottom line is this. When that happened, the following year, All-Star Weekend, and I've said this many times, LeBron James got the ball in his hands. The late, great Kobe Bryant claps his hands, let's go, and defended him. An exhibition All-Star game to just having a good time. And he threw the ball in the corner, and it was a turnover. And Melo, D. Wade, Kobe, everybody descended on LeBron. What's the matter with you? He was warped. And that is why, Shannon Sharpe, I haven't given him the title as GOAT, because I got to take into account all of those things before you started winning championships. And what I'm saying is that he's been going against Jordan and those brothers with that kind of mentality before he ever won a championship. He'd have never won one. They'd have shut it down because they'd have snatched his heart. But because he got to Miami and learned what it took to be a champion, he's been unstoppable since. There's a difference.
Let me play devil's advocate, because I'm not sure you guys are totally reading his quotes right. So he says, I think I would still be at this level no matter if I would have came here or not. Meaning I'd be this type, let me just go through it. I'd be this type of caliber player.
I believe that.
Whether I went to Miami or not. Let me dive into it again. But as far as my career was going to be my career as far as individually. Because I know how much I put in the game and what I strive to be. Meaning like my destiny was my destiny. This is what was planned for me. And I put in the work. No matter where I went, I was going to make it happen. How do you see fault in that?
How about this? Yes, I believe he probably would have been the all-time leading scorer. But there's no argument that could be made that he's the GOAT. There would be no argument that could be made that he's a top 5 player.
How do you know that?
Because he doesn't have championships, Molly. You cannot be in the GOAT.
How do you know he couldn't have gone somewhere else and got championships?
See, now we're doing hypothetical.
But I'm just saying, that's what he's saying. This is a hypothetical.
Well, hypothetically.
You want me to take a shot? You want me to take a shot?
Molly, let's deal with what we
Okay.
know. Why is it so hard for him to say, you know what, Miami was great for me. I won two of my Finals MVPs in this location. I won 2 regular season MVPs in location. That's when people start. Once he went to Miami, a lot of people said the best version of LeBron James in his 21-year career was that 4-year block in Miami. He was sensational on both ends of the court. Okay, yes. Would he have still been playing 21 years? I believe he'd have still been playing 21 years. I believe he'd have been playing at this level. But I do not believe Stephen A. and others would be having a conversation that he's in the GOAT debate. I believe he's number 1 had he not gone to Miami.
So you heard the exchange there. Let me tell you why we're even covering this. The reason we're covering this is because I was surprised to see Shannon react that way to Molly Qerim. The reason is because of the company that he's working for. ESPN is pretty pro bashing men. That's their whole MO. They love to bash men on that network and belittle guys on their network. They do it at times to black guys. If some people feel that I offended that I said that, that's your bloody business. It's the bloody fact. And it seems to be standard procedure at the network. So, and you even saw this take place when Malika Andrews felt that she can come on Stephen A. Smith's show and basically dictate the terms of how the show is going to be ran. And then Stephen A. Smith pushed back on her like, excuse me, you're on my show telling me how we're going to conduct this, how this conversation is going to go. You must be confused where you're at. So for Shannon Sharpe to react that way, I was a bit surprised, right? I was a bit surprised, but here's the thing. I think Shannon reacted the same way he would have reacted had it been a man or a woman. I think that was his natural reaction. Do you know why I say that? Because I've heard Shannon Sharpe react that very same way hundreds of times to Skip Bayless. And Skip Bayless is a male. We never made a big deal out of it, so we're not going to make a big deal out of that. To me, I was just surprised that that took place on the network. Because we know ESPN. We know what ESPN stands for. We are fully aware of that. My thoughts on the interruption is simply this. Listen, I think that the majority of us, when we tune into ESPN First Take, specifically that show, we're tuning in to hear Shannon Sharpe speak and Stephen A. Smith speak. In the case of Shannon, he's only on the show 2 days a week. That's it. He won't be here. He's not there on Wednesday, Thursday. He's not there. He's only Monday and Tuesdays. So when people tune in, they really want to hear what he has to say. And to then interrupt him with a point that made no sense, it made it even worse. Some people say, but what do you mean? Here's why I said it made no sense, and it's the reason why Shannon Sharpe disagreed and Stephen A. Smith was going to continue to disagree. The reason is this. Shannon already addressed the point she tried to bring up, but she brought it up anyway because she just felt like talking. Shannon said, could LeBron have gone on to win the scoring title, meaning all time? He said yes. Could he have made all-star teams? Yes. Could he made all NBA teams? Absolutely. Because that's what he was already doing in Cleveland. In this case, he's talking about winning championships. And that's the point he harped on. He said, this is what Shannon said, there's no way we're having this conversation if LeBron doesn't win those finals MVPs in Miami and is playing at that level on a championship winning team. That was his point. She tried to take it somewhere else that was totally obscure. She was bringing up something he had already addressed. And then what she tried to do, she tried to throw in a hypothetical. He's like, well, how do you know? He's like, I'm dealing with reality. I'm dealing with reality. So to me, it's a breath of fresh air. I understand that's how it works on ESPN First Take. That's how it's going to be. These guys, the men on that show, are never allowed to really push back in moments like this. And to me, listen, I think you should be able to express yourself the same way you would express yourself to a man or woman if we're all on the same stage together. This is what I personally believe. I think we're all equal. Correct? Correct? If we're all equal, we should all be able to react to each other equally. Am I wrong or right about this? If we're all equal, we should all get the same reactions. Just what I'm saying. Or are we not all equal? Or is it that we're equal and not equal depending on the circumstance? See the hypocrisy? These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comments. Oh, by the way, if you guys try to take it down that road, you doesn't like, you're going to lose very quickly. My first child is a girl. And I love her more than anybody, apart from my wife and my parents. So, not going to work. Catch you on the next show. Peace.